Right, back to the studio. Okay, now I'm just waiting for the signal to come through to Amazon Live. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. We'll be on Amazon Live shortly. If you look up at the post on Facebook and click the link, you can actually join us on Amazon Live. As we say, go live. And we are live on Amazon Live. We can remove the card and say, hello, Peter.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon. Right, I've got to move this out of the way. I know you've got a new stand too, but I don't want that in the way. And okay, welcome to my Amazon Live, and we are live there now. And just a minute or two for people to actually catch up. I'm just going to change the layout for a moment to the one that we're used to, so that there we go. Hopefully that's it. That's better. Okay, that's better. Okay, right. I suppose explanations are in order, Peter. Peter, first of all, where are you from?
I'm from Aberdeen in Scotland. You may have heard of it. Yeah,
I have.
I think I will explain to the people I'm not in jail. I'm not a jailbird, but I am in jail. At the moment, you wouldn't believe it, how fresh I look and how healthy I look. But I've actually got COVID at the moment, and this is my last day of quarantine. Tomorrow, I'm as free as a bird, and I'll be out on my bike again. I'll be walking again. I'm not going on a bus again. I think that was the problem.
Yeah.
So that'll be me back, and I'll be free, and I'll be singing like a canary tomorrow night.
Brilliant. So you're going to karaoke tomorrow?
Yes, I like my singing. Yes. I haven't, I'm told my voice is more husky, actually.
Right, okay. And just for everybody, you are watching Stephen live from England and Peter live from Scotland, both part of the UK. And we've been broadcasting together now for nigh on 6 years, Peter.
Yeah. Never fell out.
Well, Blubbing for Britain is every Thursday at 10 a.m. UK time, 5 a.m. Eastern. And Peter, myself, and John, and most of the time Stephen, have actually been talking about what's happening in the UK for nearly 6 years. And we covered everything imaginable in the last 6 years. And we kept going. When COVID arrived in 2020, we kept on broadcasting. And so we've done our own COVID diaries, really, by getting together for an hour each week and just talking about things that are actually happening around us. Now, you've come over today, and I'd like to say thank you for joining me to talk about a few different items that. Well, you said you give an honest opinion of items that you use that you got from Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm going to do that. Right. So let me tell a bit about my background, Stephen. When I was a young man, I was a soldier. I was a tank soldier, and I was a tank soldier in Berlin in the British Army. And it was there that I was to learn about communications and how it actually failed on the tank one day. And we all went out the barracks, 3 tanks, and we had to wait for the rest of the squadron to come out about an hour and a half later to 2 hours. But we were the alert troop. The problem was the 3 tanks lined up, but we couldn't communicate with one another. And we couldn't communicate with the squadron. And it turns out that we were not tuned in. I was in a different frequency in my tank, and each of the 3 tanks were in completely different wavelengths. And it was there that I knew as a 19-year-old man, a boy really, that communications were vital. And it followed with me through to my own business, because I'm really hot in communications in my business. I've got a call center that takes all my calls to make sure that the calls are answered. I don't like taking calls direct anymore. I I pushed them onto there. So that's what I learned about communication. Vital. So later on in life, any questions in that? Any questions for anybody? No? Okay.
No,
Right.
here to go, Peter.
Yeah, so what happened later on in life was, very late on in life, I became a cyclist. But one of the problems I had was answering my phone when I was on my bicycle. And,
Okay.
and it became a bit of a problem because I had to stop and it wasn't fair on other people. So I looked at what I can use to combat this. And the answer came, first of all, in this. And these are, remind me of the name again, Stephen. I forgot the name of them.
Senna.
No, this isn't the Senna ones. This is the, we're going to speak about them.
Okay.
We might as well. Have you got them in the carousel?
No.
Aftershocks. Carousel.
Oh, sorry. All right. Sorry. You've got one up on me there because
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about the Senna first. Okay.
Beg your pardon. Right.
Aftershocks it is. Okay.
Right, so
Aftershocks earbuds.
This is absolutely brilliant. Let me tell you a few things. So I would put this on my bike, on my, like that, and I would cycle with my hat on, look. And I'd be cycling away, never mind that other bits. So I'm there, right? Phone rings. Now I can actually set it up to answer within 2 rings, goes direct in, and then I can speak to what it doesn't do. One of the things that it doesn't ring as such, it opens up. Before you know, I'll say, who's that? But I don't get a lot of phone calls. Now, let me tell you what it's really, really, really good for. Have you ever been plagued with cold calling? Have you ever had that, Stephen?
I have, yes.
Yeah.
Every day.
So I was on the bike one day and I was going along and it was a cold call. Is that Mr. Stewart? I says, yes, it is. Is it okay if I talk? I says, well, I'm just going to give you a bit of a warning. I'll be going up a hill in a moment and I'll be heavy breathing. And the phone went down automatically, and that's how you get rid of them. So there you go. But what I found with these was they're good to a point. Now, when you're screaming down a hill, you can still speak to people. But I will say it is harder to listen to. Okay if you're jogging, okay if you're walking, but not the best, not the best for cycling. Now, there are 2 different types that I have. I had a cunning plan. I got 2 of these. Well, I got one and I bought another one from my partner, hoping to help her with it. But then I realised she didn't open them up because she doesn't like things around her ears. So I opened it one day and kept it for myself. So I've got 2. So I charge one and I keep other. Now, recently, because I've had COVID, we have been living in separate bedrooms. But she'd be in her bed wanting to sleep, and I've got the TV blaring. Not anymore, because I did get a new gadget, and it's a transmitter, and I plug it into the back of the television, and I set these up in the Bluetooth, and I can sit there and watch the television, or listen to the television without disturbing anyone. And that's why it's absolutely brilliant. The other thing to do with this, I mean, you could use it for quite a lot of things. We know our friend, we've got a friend, John, who's a gardener. He goes to the plot and everything. And you know, your phone rings and you may have left it in the car beside you. You can't find it in your pocket. But here's what you do. You set it up to automatically answer for you, and you stand up and you walk away. So they can be used in many an occasion. Now, I did send a video to Stephen. It was of me in the shower, but it was on my head. I think I frightened him, folks. He's not playing it. And it was just to prove that I can actually stand in a shower and I don't listen to music so much. I listen to talk radio. I like politics. Any questions, Stephen, for the viewers, or has anybody asked anything?
No, not at the moment. I'm just
Right.
going to bring another camera in.
Yeah.
And put that full screen. Okay, this is the case that the Aftershocks come in, and it's a carrying case, and Peter can carry this around with him when he's cycling and put them on when he wishes. The case is fully lined and keeps your Aftershocks earbuds perfectly safe, and these are they. Now, as you've seen from Peter, I'm going to try and get this totally on screen. I'm going to put it there. Okay, these are the Aftershocks earbuds. They are waterproof, and that means that when Peter goes out for a ride, he can wear them and know that if there's a rain shower, there's not going to be a problem. The controls are duplicated on either side, so that you've got touch buttons either side, and they just go over your ears, and they're very, very light, aren't they, Peter?
Yeah, sometimes you forget they're on. Now I've got two different types, Stephen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I've got titanium. Is that the ones you've got? Titanium.
It is, yes.
Yeah. So I've got titanium Aftershocks, and I've also got air by Aftershocks, I think they're called. Right. These are actually the better ones because they're more expensive, and I only buy better, But it's been handy. And a fabulous piece of kit. Now, I watch YouTube in the bath. Did you know that?
Too much information for Amazon, Peter.
Right, okay. I use my bath for it, and I can sit and listen to it in there as well. Okay. And what was that? Was that a question from Chris? I use mine to listen to podcasting videos with it. Yes, exactly. Exactly. You can do that. So all in all, a great product. The only thing I would say is I would like them a bit louder. Okay. Now, how the work is, they don't go in your ears, and this has been vital for me, Stephen. Let me tell you why. I have been suffering from very, very, very bad earache, and I've been getting what do you call it? Inflammation. And what's the word I'm looking for, wouldn't it? It can hurt you. I know pain, not the pain word, but basically inflammation can cause a problem. Now, my friend's a sound engineer, and he was telling me if you put things in your ears like that, it compresses the wax, which happened to me, and it becomes sore. So I will never, if possible, put anything in my ears again. So much so that I went and I picked up every in-ear bud, no matter what the price of them were. And you know what I done with them, Stephen?
Give them to a charity.
No, I threw them in the bin.
All right, okay.
In the bin because of hygiene and things like that. You haven't seen inside my ears, so I binned it. And nothing will go in my ears if I can help it again. So I couldn't endorse them more. It really is. You might think, oh, they're expensive, but they're not. How many?
Yeah, the ones in the carousel are $79.89.
Yes.
And I'd like to say hello to Corinda.
Oh,
and Corinda's watching us on Amazon, but also watching on Amazon is Tina Shang. And Tina and I did a program together for quite some time. And Tina is saying, nice to see some familiar faces. Hope you're both well. So Corinda and Tina are now talking to each other, which is absolutely brilliant. Tina, brilliant to see you. And we have to catch up soon. Basically. Now, in terms of headphones and the Aftershocks, as Peter said, they just go over your ears like that. They are bone conducting headphones, so they don't go in your ear canal, as Peter said, because they're not going to irritate you at all. They're very light. And the thing is, because you're not got anything in your ears, you can actually have a conversation with the person next to you whilst listening to podcast or music. So that's brilliant. But these are safety first. As Chris said, basically, Chris uses hers to listen to podcasts and videos without disturbing people and staying safe. One of the tests of any set of headphones, can the person next to you hear them? And in the case of these, no, they can't. Okay, so you are being very public spirited by wearing earbuds, which nobody else can hear. The other thing is, these are safe, whether you're walking, running, jogging, or cycling, and you're out and about in the rain, these will still work perfectly. Yeah. And you'll be able to hear the traffic around you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's important. And they're down in the carousel at the moment, and they are $79.89. As Peter said, he's got two different Aftershocks. If you click the link in the carousel, that will take you to the Aftershocks page, and you'll see all the different colors, because you don't just have to have blue. Mm-hmm. And in addition to that, you'll see all the different models of Aftershocks as well. And what was the second pair you got, Peter?
I think it's Ear by Aftershocks. I've got as many now, but let me tell you, this is actually my third pair, Stephen.
Wow.
Many years ago, I bought a set. Guy says, you'll like these. But unfortunately, the left-hand side of it went. And what a difference there are. I mean, the other ones that I first bought, they're absolutely split. Yeah. I've got them upstairs, and what a difference. This is so comfortable to wear now on these. So they're very good. And I'll show you another little trick. If you're going, oh, sorry.
So can you turn your green screen off for a second?
Okay, how do I do that again?
Right. Okay, it's on the software at the top right. Original.
No,
right. Okay. Now that makes the difference, because now we can actually see what you're doing with them.
Okay. Right. So what's it that? Buy a second pair, right? If you can afford it, or buy a half price one if somebody doesn't want them or whatever. So what you do is, now if you're using it a lot on a journey on a bicycle, you're listening to the radio, you're using stuff, everything in the battery. So what you do is you put one on, and then what you can do is you can have the other one like this, sitting right. There. I don't use the case, right? I'm like, okay. And then that one's run out. Next, pick it up like that, and that's you. As you say in Britain, Bob's your uncle.
Great tip. Great tip.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And basically, no, they're an absolute gem. Let me tell you what else I've done with it as well. I had a van that didn't have Bluetooth in it. I go about in a van until I got new vans recently. And with the problem, we get 6 points here in Britain if you're driving with a phone. So you put your phone in your cradle and you set it up, right? And it will answer the phone while you're driving for you. You need to say the words, hey, G-O-O-G-L. I'm not going to say it, because you do, and you can say, call such and such. Now, if you get it right as well, you can actually push a button on your ear to stop. But you can set it up so you're hands-free if you don't have Bluetooth in your car or whatever, even in a motorbike. I do believe some people wear them inside motorbike helmets too. And that's just everything that I can think of. And it picks up 2 sounds as well. I do a bit of walking now, and I've got an app that says to me, walk for 2 minutes slow. And at the same time, I'm listening to my radio, and it overtakes the radio, cuts in, tells you, then she goes back to her perch, and you carry on.
Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to read a comment from Tina. And Tina says she's great, she's got a lot going on, and she has finished her master's degree and started a new job. Congratulations on both. And crazy busy. I've missed the community. The community has missed you, Tina. I mean, the community's now been going for 6 years. And Tina's also saying, yes, Stephen, you definitely used to take some time to catch up.
Yeah.
Totally true. Totally true.
Coming up about Tina on Facebook the other day. I'm sure I seen something.
Yeah.
Tina, you know.
Yeah. I mean, basically, we've come a long way in those 6 years, and now we have the technology to go live on Amazon Live.
Yeah.
And Corinda, who you're talking to, is also on Amazon Live as well. So if you want to follow Corinda, that would be good. If anybody's watching live on Amazon Live, I'd like to thank you for spending time with Peter and I today. Peter and I have been broadcasting together for the last 6 years, and we occasionally get together on Amazon Live as well, so that Peter can give you his view on the products that are in the carousel. And with Peter is a straight shooter and will tell you the benefits and also some of the little niggles that he has with the equipment. Where should we go next, Peter?
So going back on the cycling theme, I've got a piece of kit I'd love to talk about, but we'll do that another time. But what we're going to do, I've got a cycling partner. She won't be listening. She's an old woman. She's 75. And she's deaf, and she's actually deaf. She wears hearing aids, right? And it can be a problem with cycling. So I'm cycling along. She's got an electric bike. Okay, so I have to tell her, come back. Anyway, we try and have a conversation, but she just needs to pedal a bit and she's way ahead of me. And it's very difficult to have to catch up and speak to her and say, what? And we're chatting away. I says, try and get it so you're next to me. And she'll say, what was that? What was that?
Yeah.
And also, and the wind's blowing. So me being a kind person, I thought, right, what can we do about this? Now, I told you before, I love communications and radio operating and stuff like that. I used to do CBs and I love all these things and communications. So I got these. And these are called PI. Okay. Can you give the full name, Stephen?
Senna PI.
Senna. They're made by Senna. Now, what this does is, this bit here, you can see loops there, right? They actually attach to the helmet. I won't show you the helmet, but you basically get them to sit about here, right?
Okay.
In your helmet. And then what happens is, I will go and I will meet my friend. But on the way there, I'll put on my radio and I'll listen to digital radio on the way down. Now, again, because it's here, right, my ears are still open. I can hear everything around about me. There's only one problem with that, Stephen. Do you know what it is?
No, not yet. No, go on, Peter.
I'm going to tell you, the biggest problem is if you owe people money, they say, hey, Peter, you owe me money, and you can still hear them.
Yeah, you can't ignore them. I got you.
So, as Lester Piggott, and the well-known jockey in Britain, he would turn around and say, use this one, it's cheaper. Right. So, I then met her, then I put it onto Hell Helmet too, because they come in a 2-pack, right? And then you set it up in a walkie-talkie mode.
Okay.
And you travel, and that will last you, I think it is up to a quarter of a mile away from each other.
Wow.
And chat. And I can say, hey, you're way ahead, turn and left.
Okay, we lost Peter there. Hopefully he'll be back in a moment. I'm still wearing the Aftershocks earbuds, and we're still live on Amazon, so that's good. So while Peter's on his way back, this is the beauty, as Tina and Corinda know, of live video, that the unexpected is going to happen. And in this particular case, Peter is up in the wilds of Aberdeenshire, in Aberdeen, and we're going to let Peter come back now and continue his story. Welcome back, Peter, and the floor is yours.
Okay, so right. So I can meet up with my friend and I'll say, go ahead, turn left and then turn right, and then you'll see, you know, I'll just say about my cycling. Do you know what my bike cannot do, Stephen?
Peter, what can your bike not do?
It can't. It's a coffee shop. So I've got, right, and I'll say, I'll meet you at the coffee shop. She knows what it is because she's got an electric bike and she's much faster than me because of electric bike. And that's what I do to communicate. Now, with the PI, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can actually get a group of people tuned in with it.
Right. I did a little bit of research when you sent me the link, and I read down. I think there are probably several different versions of it. The initial version you sent me is just 2 people, but as you said, you can be quarter a mile apart and talk to each other. And it is, when you're actually out cycling with a partner, you do want to be able to speak to them. And when you're both pedaling like mad going up a hill, it's nice to give somebody some encouragement.
Absolutely. And I have something else. In my cycling club, we've got whistles. If you're the leader, you're meant to take a whistle, and the back person's meant to take a whistle. But one day I was the back person, and something happened. I whistled, but the wind was coming into my face in a way. The whistle, it was blowing in the air, because the next thing, the sound was going away. And I pleaded with my club, get these things in, get them. And the leader's got one, and the tail end Charlie's got one. And it's happened 3 times. But unfortunately, a lot of them are very old and they don't like new technology, Stephen. It's the problem. So that is a problem. But there again, and then when everybody's finished, and we'll leave the group and we'll go on our own, I say cheerio, and then what I do is I stop and I put on my favourite radio station and I go about and I look around me, and people say, you won't hear the traffic. I said, do you drive? Yes. Do you turn your radio on your car? Yeah. So how do you hear the traffic then? I says, I have as much chance as hearing the traffic with these on as you have sitting in a car.
Right.
Smoking as well, using your hands.
Right. Okay. Right. Now I'm still wearing the Aftershocks. Thank you for that, Peter, about the Senna PI. And we've got a comment coming in from Chris, which is saying Aftershocks work 8 hours without need to reload them. The sound is excellent, and I totally agree with Chris on this, and Peter agrees well. That the sound quality on the Aftershocks is brilliant. So I'm going to take them off now because I'm actually they're not switched on. Okay, one button to switch. All right, just a second. Okay, one button to switch them on, increase volume, decrease volume, make a phone call. You can do that with your virtual assistant, Siri, and you can take a call. You can voice dial, a whole range of options in this particular piece of kit. The thing is that, as Peter said earlier, they don't go in your ear canal, so they're not going to irritate you at all. The sound quality with the bone conduction works well because it's sound waves, whether you've actually got them in your ears or just over your cheeks. It's the same method of actually transmitting sound. It's vibrations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So, and the quality is just so good.
Yeah.
Just so
the only thing I would say is, until you really get to know it, I find it sometimes hard to find the button, at the side of you.
Oh yeah.
I think they should make it more distinct in some way. Yeah, maybe a bigger button or something like that. And another thing I'll warn you about is if you're walking about and you've got a hat, or I wear a hat like a deputy dog, comes round the tie in the cold here, people will see you speaking to yourself. Nothing. What's you on about? And there's no phone or anything to go, and you're chatting away, and you can see them looking, and I'll give them a nod, and they say, "Oh, he should be in the hospital, that guy." But no.
Well, in addition to Deputy Dog, you could also be perhaps Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. Yeah. But I will say as well, when you do that, if you live in a cold country and you take your flaps down, boy, do you hear it, Stephen. I don't know if you've tried it. But
I haven't. No, I don't have a hat like that. Right. Okay. Now, shall we move on to our next item, which is a win-win story?
Right. Okay.
Which is a British product, and it's the TP-Link Deco. Now, TP-Link Deco is Wi-Fi, and it is so easy to set up. As you can see down the carousel at the moment, you get 3 units. You've attached the first unit via a cable to your router. You then switch it on, and your system will see it. PC or Mac will actually be able to see it. And then you download the software again, Android or iOS. You go to the software, you set the software up, you set a password for everybody to use, and the first unit is then working. You then take the second unit to another room, plug it in. Well, Peter will tell you how easy this is to set up.
Yeah, he's saying even Peter can do it. I was trying to say that. So let me tell you the story.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the story. So I'm in a little garage office that I made, and I sent my partner. I had these home plugs that go in, right? They just weren't for me. There wasn't enough boost for it. So I said to my partner, I'm going to have to go and get something dug up out there. She says, there is no way that you are digging up there in the garden.
Right.
And I said, okay, well, I'll take one out of the up high and I'll take it down. She says, you're not doing it. And it became it was a bit of a problem. I says, well, I'm wanting better internet out there. She says, well, you're not. And I happen to lie, my house is in a dip. I'm at the top of a hill, but believe it or not, there's a little dip where I am. So I wasn't happy until I mentioned it to Stephen and John one day. And he said, why don't you go and get a Deco? He says, okay, I looked it up, put it in. It's so simple to put on. And I put it in. I got a new computer as well, because that was a problem. So I bought a new computer. That was 2 years ago. That was the beginning of COVID, actually. And I bought the Deco at the same time. And wow, I would say it was probably one of the best purchases that I've ever had. Now, I don't know if you know Aberdeen people in my city, not where I am, but we've got big, thick granite buildings, and getting a Wi-Fi through the building can be hard for some people. But it's probably one of the best purchases that I have ever had. Look at the signal now. This is using the Deco. Look how beautiful I look with my smooth skin.
Oh, you do, Peter. I've got to, right. I've got to say, I'm on the Deco too. So I'm Wi-Fi like Peter. This is a Wi-Fi signal coming through to Amazon Live from Aberdeen in Scotland, from Wiltshire in England, and we'd like to say hello to our good friend Guy Cook from. Now I'm going to get it right this time, because I used to say Guy Cook from Walla Walla, but it's not. It's Guy Cook from Wenwick. And if I've got the pronunciation, if you could do the phonetics, Guy, that would be good. In WA in the USA. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for commenting. Yeah. I think it's just so easy to set up. Is the TP-Link, isn't it, Peter? It's just.
I'm a simpleton, and I done it. But if you put it into the router, you plug it in, you set it up. I've got to say, one of the things I do forget about, it's set up anyway. You can actually set it up. So say your wife's watching the television, a smart television, and somebody else is using a computer in another room.
Okay.
You need the resources for. You can actually set it up. Don't tell them. You can get most of the resources. Why is my computer slow? Because I've sucked it all from me, baby.
Yeah, I mean, all the app on your phone is so simple and straightforward to operate, and you can see all the units that are actually using Wi-Fi. Sometimes that's scary, because you've got your Amazon Echoes using it, your portables using it, your laptops using it, your phones are using it.
Yeah.
And you, as Peter said, you can divert the signal to wherever you like. Okay. Now, in the early days, what we used to do when we went live is we used to divert it to Angelica if she was teaching on Whereby, and myself who was actually broadcasting on desktop. But it's so good, you don't need to do that ordinarily. But the option is there. If you've got something which is important that you don't lose Wi-Fi, then you can say, right, okay, for the next hour or so, I'm going to have most of the Wi-Fi, and it's so simple and so straightforward to do. Now it comes with 3 units, so basically you're covering a few thousand square feet with those. If you want to add more units, you can. It's like Peter, I used to have the electric plugs which got Wi-Fi around the house, but they didn't get Wi-Fi around the house effectively. The TP-Link Deco gives you perfect Wi-Fi all throughout the building, and once you, as Peter said, once you set it up, you can forget it. In addition to that, you've got a facility for a guest password, so people are visiting you, rather than giving them the main password, because they could just stand outside for hours using it. If you give them a guest password, then you can switch the guest feature on, give them a guest password, and whilst they're with you, then they've got access to your Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I do have a question, which I've just I've got one here. I've got one in the main lobby, and I've got one in the kitchen. But Sheila keeps turning it off. Anyway, what I was wanting to know is, do they really offer one another, or does all the Wi-Fi come direct from the main one out to here?
It comes basically, the Wi-Fi goes from the router to the first unit, then from the first unit to all the other units.
It puts it to each unit. So if one, it's a bit like the internet was meant to be. If one goes down, you can keep the other one going for some reason.
Oh yeah. I think so.
If you haven't got one of these and you're struggling for Wi-Fi, I would suggest you go down in the carousel, get some money out your pocket, and buy one, because it's one of my best purchases ever. Now, what I would like to do with everything I've spoken about today, I'd like some questions. What about you, Stephen?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Questions are always good, and we'll try our best to answer them. Just a note from Peter and I that if you click the TP-Link picture at the moment, you'll get 13% off. So they're $129.99 instead of $149.99. So that's $130, 10%, 14%, 13% off. So they're a bargain today. Now, this discounted price, is only available while Peter and I are live. As soon as we stop, it's back to the normal price. So we can give you discounts whilst we're broadcasting. And Guy is saying Kennewick, and should I use 2 cameras for Steve? Right. Okay, that's a hint, Guy. Thank you.
Should you use what?
Now, if you forgive me for a moment, Peter, I'm just going to go in the carousel, and I'm going to go over here and explain something. Okay, so I'm going to take over for a minute. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to hide Peter. So Peter is hidden, and I'm going to go picture in picture. And I'm probably better off going that way around. Okay, and I'm going to shrink myself. So Peter's getting a well-earned break. So I'm going to go over. I'm taking over the show. Well, it's my show anyway, but okay. I'm shrunk now. And if I tilt this camera slightly, just forgive me for a moment. There we are. That's perfect. Okay. Now, Guy mentioned a moment ago 2 cameras. Now you can see that from my BeLive studio, I'm actually using 2 cameras. Okay, because BeLive is the only software in which the host can actually use 2 cameras. And if you don't know who BeLive are, then what I can do is this, and I'm just going to put a logo in the top right-hand corner. That's the BeLive logo. Okay, and wherever you see that, that's BeLive, be.live. Don't go there now, but you can go there. Now, because I've got a second camera, I now have the ability to actually show you both myself and all the items that I'm going to talk about in my live broadcast. My live broadcasts are 9 a.m. Eastern every single day of the week. I take the weekends off to actually go out and about. But the unit that I'm about to show you is this one. And this is an Anka 4-port USB hub. And this is the device which actually allowing me to have 2 cameras on screen. Okay. And those 2 cameras, basically this unit will take up to 4 cameras. You unplug your camera from your PC or Mac or anything, unplug it, and then you plug this unit. Okay, this takes one of your USB sockets. You can then plug in your cameras, and it means that you can have, first of all, if you're on Zoom, you can switch between cameras. If you're on Zoom, you can have two cameras connected to your computer, and when you're on Zoom, you can go from camera A to camera B to camera A. You get where I'm going with this. If you are broadcasting, then I can have 4 cameras on screen. Okay, and that's absolutely brilliant. I plug the 4 cameras into there, and they simply work. There's no additional work to do. The system recognizes it, and I can switch cameras at any time. Now, the beauty of this solution to having more than one camera on screen is that I'm not sure what Guy's talking about. Okay, Guy, can you be a bit more precise? The beauty of this is that it's only $16.99. $16.99 to have 2 cameras, whether you're on Zoom or broadcasting or doing recording. You simply switch between cameras. There's no tech knowledge needed. You just order from Anka. I'm going to try and get this on screen. Okay, it comes in a box like this, and I'm trying to put it over there. Yeah, Anka, that's right. That's the name. A well-known brand, and the cable comes in this box. You just attach it to your computer. You can then add as many cameras as you wish, up to 4. Now, I've reserved a slot for my next microphone, which is the Elgato Wave 3. So in addition to plugging in cameras, you can plug microphones into the Anka 4-way USB hub, and you can not only then switch between cameras, you can actually switch between microphones. So it's simple to install, easy to use. It gives you greater flexibility when you are broadcasting, and all the computers and all the software that we actually use to broadcast is capable of switching between one camera and another. Just a selection from a drop-down menu, you can change your camera. It's simple and straightforward. It's the most cost-effective way of doing it. I've seen other solutions, but they are far more expensive. This is technology that's been around for years. Now we can use it in a different way. We can use it to have multiple cameras and multiple microphones on the same computer and just select between them. And it's changed the way that I broadcast, because I can now do a demonstration properly without, I used to go, the change it's made is this. I used to go, these are aftershocks. Okay. And I used to hide them and talk about them. Now I can keep the aftershocks in view, and I can actually show them and show different parts of them as I put the case out of the way. I can talk about them, and it makes a whole difference to actually presenting on Amazon Live. Okay, so I've been hogging the limelight with the Anka USB. Now I've got to say that since I actually started talking about the Anka USB, I've sold many of them, surprisingly. But at $16.99, if you want it in your toolkit, it's a no-brainer really, because it simply works out the box and no technical knowledge required. Okay, so I'm now going to bring Peter back, take myself off, and bring Peter. Hang on, mate, Peter.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back.
Now, you see, that's a fantastic bit of kit that we'll probably get, right? Here's why. I've lost a lot of weight because I do my own cooking now. I do baking and cooking and things. And sometimes I go on live doing it. And do you know how hard it is for me to take my mobile phone and try and turn it around and show you the thing cooking and speaking at the same time? And some of my mentors who I watch, they've got it set up in a way, but you're on a laptop, is that correct?
I am, yeah. I'm on a Microsoft Surface Book 2.
Right, so you can get your laptop, set your one staring you in the face, but at the same time, you could actually have another one logged in and move it about and fix it onto where you're cooking and cutting and weighing, etc. What an excellent bit of kit for anybody that is demonstrating anything like that. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, Marco Novo gave me the idea, and Anka supplied the hardware. The hardware is down in the carousel at the moment, and it is. Guys, got a question? Is it USB-C or A? It's USB-A, so it's the same as the plug on your camera, on your microphone. You simply replace that in your computer, and you can have up to a mixture of cameras and microphones up to a total of 4. And as I say, my next microphone, which is arriving next week, is an Elgato Wave 3. And that the beauty of the Elgato Wave 3 is, as Peter knows, I like DJing on Mixcloud, which is a British website, which allows you to actually play music. And the artists whose music you play actually get paid royalties. So I put the Elgato Wave 3 down at the bottom. But the thing is this, Peter, when I've been playing before, I've actually had to go through OBS. Yeah. I couldn't use Belive because Belive can't hear system sounds. So it can't hear the music playing. So I can't get the music into the Belive studio.
Yes.
The Elgato Wave 3 has got a mixer.
Right.
Piece of software which allows you to select not only your voice, I mean, I'm using voice at the moment, and so as a U, but you can actually add in the system sound. So I can play records on my desktop and bring them into the Belive studio, which means that I can now go back to Mixcloud with a setup that I want. So the sound is coming directly from the microphone into the studio and then out to Mixcloud.
Okay, so let's get this straight. Now, okay. we know the, so can that be, I know we have to go through, we've actually got to listen on Mixcloud as such. I mean, you can't put it out to people like FB and things like that. Is that correct?
If I was to play music now, Peter, would be taken off the air. Facebook, YouTube, or Amazon Live would be.
So people would have to go onto your Mixcloud to listen to you, but you would also be live to talk to them.
That's right. That's right. And the thing is, I've got all facilities of the Be Live studio. I've got the ability to have, because it's visual as well as audio, so I can actually have the 2 cameras. I can play music. I can play videos. Yeah. Right. Which is a bit trickier on OBS. On Be Live, it's simple and straightforward. So basically, people go to Mixcloud to actually listen, and you build up a following on Mixcloud, and people come to listen, as we know. And then you take a 6-month break. But when I go back, I'll be going back with the Elgato Wave microphone and the ability to play sound in my studio, music in my studio.
Yeah, on the Mixcloud platform.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see you, and it's at the side. I've missed these Mixcloud. I used to listen in. I
know. Well, you gifted me a CD of Frank Sinatra, which we were playing and enjoying playing. So that's it. We're going to be having music over on Mixcloud again, thanks to the Elgato Wave 3. I want to thank Alec. The thing about microphones is that it's best if you hear them and people recommend them to you. Now, I did a broadcast back in December with Chris, okay, in Belgium, with Alec Dorling in Switzerland, and with Rico in the USA. And we were comparing and contrasting microphones, and Chris talked about her mobile microphone, which is a Salamanca, and about her Blue microphones. But Alec talked about his Elgato Wave 3, and he was actually using it at the time. So we were able to hear the clarity and the depth and the richness of his voice using the Elgato Wave 3. And then when I checked it out, well, he said you can have multiple sound sources because you just sort of move a few buttons, and you got, in addition to the microphone, you've got system sounds, and you can bring in any sound device that you want by cable as well. So it's a very flexible microphone. It's arriving in devices possibly towards the end of next week, and it will be on the shows the week after that. So it's in the carousel today, so that you know what's upcoming. Okay.
Tell me, this Anka what's it got? Anka what? Splitter. Is it on special offer at all for anybody at this point in time? Is there any discounts today? Well, I know.
No,
Okay.
it's a quiet Friday. I'll just have a look through, Peter.
Well, he's doing that just to say to you, I've got Anchor plugs for my mobile phones, etc. And it's a very, very good make. It's a great make and it does the job. It charges very fast. So if you see any Anchor chargers within here, please buy it through this website. And that will help Stephen. Won't help me, it'll help Stephen. That's the type of guy I am. But Anka, a fantastic make. And just to remind you, there's, what is it? It's got 13% off today. Now, that's a bargain. That's 13 pounds in the pound, I'll have you know.
True. Right. Your camera, Peter, which camera are you using today?
The C92.
C920?
Yeah, C920, something like that. 920, the 920. Yeah, I'm about.
Yeah, okay, so let's put that down in the carousel then. So the camera itself, are you happy with it?
I'm happy for what I do. Yes, I am. I'm not one of these that just changes and changes and changes. Just doing it. Listen, do I look nice, people? Do I look fresh? That's what I want to know. And then if you do say yes, well, the camera's doing its job. If I'm ugly, I'll change it.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, the Logitech C920 is down. Its successor, which is the 920X, is down in the carousel at the moment. Today, it's $59.99, which is 14% off. This camera is a workhorse. We can actually show you a C920.
Yeah.
And I just got one over here, I think. Yes, I have. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and bring the second camera in. Okay, so Peter and I are still here, but we've got the second camera. This is, I'm just going to move the Aftershocks out of the way, which we saw earlier. This is the C920 camera. And the beauty of it is, it's a single unit. It's a USB for guys purposes. This is a USB-A plug. The camera itself, you actually pull down the, this is stuck. No, it's not. Okay. It actually goes on top of your monitor, whether you're on a laptop or you've got an external monitor like I have. And that's one way to use it. The other way is that you can actually get a tripod and you can put it on a tripod. Now, the benefit of having on a tripod is you can actually move the tripod about, which means you can change the camera angle. When it's on a desktop monitor, you can't change the angle. It's a single angle looking directly at you if you're looking into the camera. This camera is 1080p and 720p. We're going out today broadcasting to Amazon Live on 720p. This is DVD quality, so it's very high quality. I've had this unit that I'm holding now for 6 years, and it hasn't given me a problem. It plugs directly into your PC or to your Mac. This is the ideal first external camera. Because when we start off, we all start off actually using the internal camera and microphone. Then we want to improve and improve and improve. Your first logical step is to get the C920 or the 920X. It is in the carousel at the moment. It is 14% off, and it's the best place to actually start. Okay, and Peter's got a C920, so you can see not only the camera itself, but you can also see the results, which Peter's happy with.
Yeah, it's the basics for me. And if I did want to get it any better, I would move on. But it does the job. And I've got a blue microphone, and it's quite a bit away from my microphone, you know. But it's starter points, and if you want to get better, you move on. But a great bit of kit. But you know, these things like the Anka and things like that, they just make your life so easy to get done. And once you get to know them, and I can't remember, Stephen, when you put in the camera, the C922 or whatever it was, Does the software get installed with it? Was it just plug and play if I remember? I've had it 6 years as well, I would think.
Yeah, it's just plug and play. Now, because we're both live at the same time, you can compare and contrast. I'm using the Logitech Brio, and this is one of the higher end Logitech cameras. It's 4K, it's wide angle. I'm on 65, it can go 78 or 90. It's fixed on top of my monitor, and I'm trying to look straight into the camera, as we all should. Again, another reliable camera from Logitech, easy to install. Just plug it into your PC with a USB-A lead, simple and straightforward. But the thing is, the thing you'll notice, and I noticed this, I did a comparison last week of the C920 with the Brio side by side, as we're doing now. Mm-hmm. And the colorways are actually totally different on the Brio. Yeah. I mean, the C920 is brilliant. It's a brilliant camera. I'm not going to sort of put down any of the products we're actually showing in the carousel, but the Brio, which is in the carousel at the moment, I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm just looking at colour of your skin compared to mine, but Sheila does say I'm a bit pasty at the moment with having COVID, so I'm a bit pasty looking at people. That's what it is.
Well, if you look at the colour on the screen, then you look at the backdrop behind you, are the colours the same?
Yeah, this looks lighter, but somehow my light keeps flickering. I don't know if you see.
Right. Okay, that's an explanation then.
Yeah, so it's one off and one. I think I'm needing a new battery or something or whatever on there.
All right. Okay.
But there you go. So it's a good basic start camera, plug and play. It'll do the job for you, and I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there that can help you fix your contrast and your colouring, etc., etc. I just use Stephen, but it doesn't matter. You're not all going to get him. And so that's what I do. So a great 2 bits of kit, and like the Anka video split, that would make a lot of people's lives easier, Stephen.
Truly. And just to put the Logitech Brio full screen, this is my favorite camera. At least it was my favorite camera till last Thursday, because that's when I took delivery of a different camera, which is down in the carousel. And just to note, Logitech Brio is 22% off today, but my main camera now is the OBSpot. Okay, and that's the one that's actually been. I'm just going to hide me for a moment. This is the OBSpot that's actually looking at the desktop at the moment. Now, if I swivel the camera around, okay, and go up a bit, then this is the OBSpot, okay? And the basic thing is the OBSpot comes with software, which I'm just about to start up. Okay, so I need the software running, first of all, Peter, for this to work. Otherwise, the trick won't work. Okay, so the software's up and running. I'm just opening the software.
Fingers up for you.
Right, okay, and I'm just going to go like that. How? Okay, now the thing about the OBSpot is that it is a PZT camera, pan, zoom, and tilt. So it can pan, it can zoom, and it can tilt, which is basically the tilt was actually when we're looking at the desktop. But the other thing it can do, and hopefully this will work. If it doesn't work, then that's the end of the show. But I'm going to get up. Okay. And the thing about the OBSpot is that it will actually follow me around the room. Okay.
I hope you've tidied up.
Sorry?
I hope you've tidied up.
Oh, yeah. I'm only showing the top half of the room, Peter. I'm not going to show the floor. You're not seeing the carpet. Now, the thing about this is this is important, especially if you're actually presenting an Amazon Live. And Peter knows this because Peter's a speaker, that when you sat down, you can't use your full energy. I want Peter to talk about this in a minute. You can't use your full energy. This is why people, when they're speaking at an event, actually stand up, because you've got more energy when you stand up and speak. As Simon Raybould has said, this is the way to do it. And if you're demonstrating a product then you're actually able to do a lot more than when you sat down, because you can show the item going on, okay, and you can talk about it whilst you stood up. And whilst you're talking and stood up, you're using a different voice from when you sat down. Yeah, you're in a different mode. When you're sat down, you're actually totally relaxed. When you are stood up, you can be more energetic. The other thing you can do is you can kneel down. Okay, I found out this trick a moment ago, and you can actually move the camera with just by going down. So we're trying to get the camera up to the top. There we are. Okay, so this is it's my latest toy, I've got to be honest, but it is a beautiful camera. It's the Obspot. It was started by crowdfunding in April 2021 on Indiegogo, and they raised more than enough funds to actually create this camera. It's 1080p and 720p. As you've just seen, it's got AI, and the AI means that it can actually follow you. And if you set it up right, you can actually zoom in and out just by doing that. Now, I'm on full zoom at the moment, so it has no effect. After they've done this camera, which is obviously on Amazon, and the price is $199, I've got to say that I did a bit of comparison shopping, and the competitor to this, I won't mention the manufacturer, is $637. Okay, $199 against $6. It's the technology that's been put into this. For the price, it's the best PTZ camera, or most costly. And we had a show yesterday with Corinda, and Corinda's invested in a $1,300 PTZ camera. So you can spend as much as you like, but $199 is a great entry into PTZ. And they have, Obspot have just brought out a second camera. This camera is 1080 and 720. Obspot have a camera which is 4K. Now, we can't broadcast in 4K because we don't have the internet infrastructure. It will cost too much, but we can actually record in 4K and put up to a website so people can actually watch our 4K videos, and you record them using the 4K Obspot. Now, the 4K Obspot should come out, and later this year, I'll add it to my collection and review it on Amazon.com. But I'm just so blown away by the fact that what this camera can do is totally amazing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm coming back down. You can see it's still tracking me. Okay. And I'm going to move my chair. I'm going to sit down. And this is the only point where we've got a problem insofar as the camera can't see me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just doing a manual adjustment so that we're back. And that's the Obspot. It's a brilliant camera. I'm enjoying playing with it and using it. And I've only just started with it, and I'm so blown away by the brilliance of it. So I'm going to go off full screen, and you can now see, if I switch my camera on, you can now see two of me and one of Peter. So I'm going to hide one of me, and we're back side by side. Okay, I think that's a brilliant thing, Peter. Now, the thing I wanted to talk about was because I know your speaking career. How important is it when you're doing a presentation to be able to stand up?
Oh, absolutely. You just feel constrained here. Now, I'll let you into a secret today. This is coming down. I bought a new green screen, and I put it up this afternoon, but it didn't get up because my roof's too low, so I'm going to have to cut a bit off of it. But either I've been on here today, and either I've been standing, because I think I give a better presentation standing, and one of those PTZs for any speaker would be fantastic, because it can follow your face and you can move around and you can show it better. I could have pretended I was cycling, I was walking down the road, and all these sorts of things. Now, when you're sitting here, you are a bit constrained. But you probably know by now, I'm a bit of a mover. I like to move about and use my hands and give you what with my finger, and but so that's the type of me, and that would be great for anybody that's doing presentations, speaking about things from the heart, yeah, and they would see a lot more of your body language, you know, because that's very important, and you can see all how the body's acting to get your message over.
Brilliant. Thank you, Peter. Now, you've been watching Peter and I on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, or the website. You've heard us speaking about the carousel, and you can't see it. If you're watching an Amazon Live, and the link is up above on Facebook in the text, if you come over to Amazon Live, you can actually see what the carousel is. So you don't have to go to the carousel, though. What we can do is to bring the carousel to you. And I'm going to put it up on screen now. I'm going to put it full screen. So this is what the people watching an Amazon Live can actually see at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to switch Peter's microphone off. And I'm going to switch my microphone off. That just gave us a little breather to set something up. So I'm going to take that. So that's what everybody on Amazon Live can see, and they can see Peter now as well. And basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, right, okay. I'm going to actually share screen because we want to give you a quick tour. And I'm going to share screen, and that should come up in a second. I'm going to share a Chrome tab. I'm going to share that tab. Okay, so share. And I'm going to go here, just a minute, and take a second or two to set up. But once we've got it, we've got it. And I'm just waiting for the, oh, wait a minute, I've taken the wrong turn. I knew this would happen. Just give me a second. I'm going to try again. I'm going to close that. I don't want that. And I'm going to stop sharing because I got the wrong page. Just a minute. Oh, this is live video. And with live video, anything can happen. And I just want to go over here. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try this again. I'll close that and come back here. I'm going to share screen again. It will be worth it, Peter. I do.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so Chrome tab and Amazon Live share. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this screen share. I'm going to put it full screen, and for the next few minutes, Peter and I are actually going to talk about Amazon Live. Now, if you've not been here before, okay, this is the Amazon Live page, and it's amazon.com/live. And just to prove that we're live, you can see Peter and I actually there, but I want to give you a tour.
Yeah.
And basically, amazon.com/live, you start here, which is the discover page. Yeah, so this is a discovery page, and you can see this is the first page that people see when they come to amazon.com/live. And as you can see, we're actually featured. We are the this is the top spot. This is the prime real estate. Okay, this is where everybody wants to be. Now, as you go down, you can see that there are other shows live at the same time as us. So Marco is live with the amazing show, and we could go and have a look at Marco just by clicking the link, and that will bring Marco's show in. And by default, when you're watching a live show, and there's Marco with Ryan, whilst you're watching a live show, the sound is off. So if you're watching a live show, the first thing you should do is hit the unmute button. Yeah. Okay. So unmute is the first thing that you do, but I'm not going to do that. you can see the carousel down below, and as you're watching somebody live, you can click through the carousel, and you can click at any item in the carousel, and you can actually then go and look at the item whilst you're still listening to Marco and to Ryan. Okay, if you click the link in the carousel, you'll get the price that's shown on the carousel at the moment whilst Marco and Ryan are live. On the right hand side, you can see a message box, and I can type in there to show that we're live. Okay, so I'm going to send that, and there you are. So you can send comments whilst live. Okay, the other thing you can do as a viewer is you can press the follow button, and if you press the follow button, as I have for this particular broadcast, then next time that these two go live, and they're both good friends, then you'll be notified. They will not get your information. That's retained by Amazon. Okay, now we scroll down further, we can see that Peter and I are live. There are other live shows at the moment. Now this is the new entertainment, because you've got, these are like different TV channels, you can switch between them. Okay, and then in addition to who's live at the moment, once you've followed people, once you've followed people, then you'll see their latest shows on this page. So you'll see anything that is live, and below that, you will see the latest episodes of all the people that you're actually following. And you can click on any of them, and if they're live, you can watch them live. If it's a replay, you can watch the replay. So that's why it's important to follow people, because what you're actually doing is bookmarking the shows so you can return to them. So we're on Amazon.com live, and we're going to browse, and this browse feature, basically Amazon have broken this all down into categories. So we've got tech must-haves, we've got electronics, and if I go to electronics, okay, on the electronics page, we will see the live shows at the moment. So there is Valentine's Day gifts, and underneath Valentine's Day gifts, you've got Peter and I, you've got Marco and Ryan, and you've got all the shows in the electronics category. Now, when our show is finished, the show that Peter and I are doing, it will appear lower down this page. So whilst you're live, it's at the top. Once you're finished, it's further down. Okay, and these are the top shows on Amazon Live at the moment, and people are giving out advice for free, advice about products that you can buy on Amazon. There's David Burrows, another good friend. So electronics, and if you're trying to plan your day, let's go back to browse again as we do this Cook's tour of the system. If you're planning what to watch later today, you can go to streaming soon, and that will show you the upcoming streams. This is your TV guide, because it gives you the show and it tells you what time it's starting. Okay, so all the shows down there with the starting times. Okay, and the next upcoming stream is Man with the Orange Hair. All right, finally on this Cook's tour, we're going to go to browse again, and I'm going to go to media. Hopefully this will work, Peter. We're going to go to media, scroll down, and no, we've been updated. Okay, so all good. But you've got basically Amazon.com/live is there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you have a moment, you can come and watch the shows on Amazon Live. It's as good as television, if not better, because this is real people talking about real products and helping you decide which to buy. Okay, I've got a goodbye. Have fun. Time to go and check Google Alerts. So Guy has just left. So thank you for watching, Guy. And what I'm going to do is going to stop the screen share now and come back to myself and Peter.
Very good. Now, as you can see, folks, looks as though Amazon Live is going to be the future. Get your own shop. You can have your own shop.
You surely can. I mean, the thing to do is, if you want your own shop on Amazon Live, is first of all, you apply to be an influencer on Amazon, and for that you've got to have a good following on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Get your influencer, get your shop store up. Having got to that stage, you then apply to become an Amazon Rising Star. Yeah, that means that you can broadcast on Amazon Live, and you download the app on your iPhone or iPad, and you can just go live from your camera, or you can go live from your studio. Be live or restream. Be live would be my favorite, Peter. And you go live for up to 90 minutes. Once you've reached the 90 minutes, you can apply for an Amazon Insider. And once you become an Amazon Insider, then that's when you start earning a small commission on the items sold as a result of your broadcast. So it's open to everybody, and all you need is an iPhone or an iPad, and you can broadcast live on Amazon as we are doing today. But today we have been broadcasting live on, wait for it, we have been broadcasting live using BeLive, and I work for BeLive. I love the product. Peter's been on BeLive hundreds of times, and this is totally true. Right. Shall we close today's broadcast, Peter?
Yeah, that's fine by me. Thank you very much. And I've enjoyed my time, and was able to pass on some of my knowledge that may help you buy something from the carousel below.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'm back on Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Peter will be back with me hopefully in February. And take care, everybody. Enjoy the weekend, and goodbye for now. And that's a